The Adani Group chief, Gautam Adani, and his second generation, also called the company's G2, that is Pranav, Karan, Sagar and Jeet Adani, recently gave a series of interviews to Bloomberg. This was a rare insight into the workings and the mindset of one of India's biggest corporate houses. Now, here are some of the top key takeaways from that set of interviews. The plan to preserve legacy, which Gautam Adani describes as a long-drawn journey, was conceived a decade ago. He said that this process must be organic, gradual and systematic, and that succession is both about continuity and change. The second generation is well trained in the fundamentals of every business. They started off as interns under the professional CEOs and gradually moved into leadership roles. Gautam Adani in this interview emphasized the fact that they are all still hungry, which is not very common among second-generation entrepreneurs. Now, Gautam Adani has also said that disintegration will never happen in the Adani Group. This was a question he was asked because despite giving the G2 the option of handling separate businesses, the four of them unanimously chose to handle all verticals together. The direction of the business will always be aligned with the priorities of the government, whichever one it may be. This is an important revelation in this interview because this approach ensures tailwinds for the company's business and prevents headwinds, which in turn helps accelerate growth. Another key aspect which came about in these series of interviews, not just with Gautam Adani but with family members and those who are part of G2, was what Karan Adani said. Karan Adani aims for Adani Ports to handle 1 billion ton of volumes from India by 2030 and make the country the center point of the overall supply chain from east to west. Now, speaking on the structure of the conglomerate, Karan Adani explained that after the feedback of investors, the group decided to demerge and go with a clean structure where every business would be a separate entity. This helped with the shareholding. On the defense front, Jeet Adani said they are the only private sector ammunition manufacturer in India. He explained that the group has redone their strategy by not using large capital projects like submarines or fighter aircraft. In fact, they are focused on three main areas, that is unmanned systems, including unmanned aerial vehicles, ground vehicles and submarine vehicles, as well as small arms ammunition. Sagar Adani says that Adani Group has some of the most diverse institutional shareholding and long-term equity in their portfolio. Sagar Adani also says that the group is focused on creating long-term assets like ports, roads, airports, railways, renewable power, thermal power, transmission lines, distribution companies and data centers. And finally, he says that the target investors of the Adani Group are the ones that look at long-term assets. Sagar Adani goes on to say that they don't offer anything to their investors on a quarter-to-quarter basis. In fact, their assets are meant for longer holding periods like 30 to 45 years.